Hello, my name is Morgan Potter. Today I will be sharing 3 different activities with you that can benefit the phonemic awareness or phonological development of young children. A couple of the activities I will share are focusing on the age group that I am primarily working with, which is 15 months to 2 years old, but I've also had quite a bit of experience in a pre-K classroom, which is like 4 to 6 years old. So I also have an activity that I really liked that I used to do with that age group that I wanted to share. So first, I'll start with the older age group. So I have some cups that have letters written on them, and these might be the letters you're working on within the week, or maybe it's a review, and we're just trying to do more frequency with the letter sounds. So whatever it is, you can pick a letter to put on the cup. You could even do words if that's the level that your kids are at, but we were working on frequency when I did this activity. So I do not have something to tape these to, but I had taped them up onto a whiteboard with the letters showing. And then within our circle time, but you could do this at any activity, they had a ping pong ball, and they would throw the ball from a certain line to where it was like a little challenging for them to really get their motivation up to like try to get it in the cup. They were all cheering for each other. And then if the ball landed in the S, then they would try to say the sound of the S. I'm like, great job, you made it in the cup. What sound does that make? And then the child would say S, or if they didn't quite know it, luckily I had a group of friends who was very encouraging of one another, so they would try and I'd be like, not quite, let's see if we can phone a friend, and then they would call on a friend to try to share the letter sound. They would get 3 tries to get it into a cup at all. If they didn't, that's fine, they would get a turn later, but I found that giving them 3 attempts to get it in the cup kept the activity going. The children who were waiting weren't getting too antsy, and they didn't have to get it in the first try. Additionally, when they would say the letter sound, either them or a friend saying it correctly, I would say, yeah, everyone, let's say it together. And then everyone is still practicing the letter sound. And I found it really important to also label the name of the letter so that they're putting 2 and 2 together, and actually 3. So they're seeing the symbol, they're making the sound, and then I am also telling them the name of the letter. That way they're putting all 3 components together into one interaction. So then that person would take the ball out. I would have them pick a different friend who hasn't gone yet, and then that friend would get 3 attempts. They throw the ball. Oh, they missed it. Throw the ball again. Oh, they missed it. Oh, they got it in this one in the last attempt. Yeah, what sound does that make? Buh. Great job, everyone. Let's say buh. Yeah, B says buh. Great job. Okay, now the next person can go. So they're getting 3 attempts. And I did have some friends who were a little upset if they didn't make it, but we also get to learn that sometimes there's things that we're not as good at and we get to practice. So this was a very popular activity at circle time that they would request. They would try to get better and better at throwing it, but they were also excited to learn those letter sounds. Next, I found that I believe it was in the first video within this module, that singing the apples and bananas song can actually benefit their phonological development more than I thought. So if you haven't heard that song or you're not as familiar with it, this is great with the younger kiddos of I like to eat apples and bananas. I like to eat apples and bananas. And then we pick a different letter sound. So I usually just pick it because the age group I'm working with, they don't really have that skill yet, but you could always encourage your children to pick a letter sound like ah or ah or eh, usually a vowel sound. And then you replace the vowels in eat apples and bananas to that sound. So if they picked oh, say I like to oat, opals and bananas. If it's an I sound, I like to it, apples and bananas. And so it gets a little silly and they're really into it because it's so silly, but they're also learning how to differentiate the different letter sounds. My last activity that I hadn't really put two and two together. I'm very familiar with this song, but I hadn't realized how much it helps with rhyming words compared to other songs is This Old Man. This is in the article within this unit. And if you aren't familiar with that, I can also demonstrate that song. So it goes 1 through 10, but I'll just sing the first few verses and you'll really get to hear how the motions that you're doing are related to the rhyming words. So, this old man, he played one. He played knick-knack on his thumb with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played two. He played knick-knack on his shoe with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played three. He played knick-knack on my knee with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. So you'll see that a lot of these are like body parts or something that is on them. So we can also be pointing of like, yeah, one finger, point to your thumb. Two fingers, point to your shoe. So they're kind of being able to put into context what words are rhyming and what objects they belong to. The apples and banana song and This Old Man I have found quite successful to incorporate into meal times because it keeps them engaged at the table, building up that stamina to sit at the table. We really practice sitting during eating for safety reasons and choking. I'm not sure if everyone does that, but that's definitely an area we're working on learning to stay sitting at a table. So that helps them stay excited and alert and engaged at the table while they're eating. And also with these songs, you're benefiting their phonological awareness and development. So I cannot wait to hear the ideas that you all have to share, and I hope that these have been a little helpful in expanding your activities in your classroom. Thank you.